But my topic tonight, now let's get a little more serious, right? This topic tonight is about the lack of Black history appreciation from the adult movie business this month.
Mm.
Okay. Now, today, as it is right now, 11 p.m., it is February 24th. It is the last Friday of Black History Month. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just a month after Kira North becomes the first woman of color to win Avian Best Female Performer of the Year. And also, after the last during the pandemic, when companies such as Brazzers and Pornhub saying, no, we're Black Lives Matter and we want to incorporate more Black into our product. We want to have more inclusion. As we celebrate the end of Black History Month, I really want to ask what happened,
Mm.
right? It was just 2 years ago during the pandemic when, as I said, Brazzers and Pornhub. Oh, I gotta get my video, my picture going. Said, as it says right there, we commit to stand in solidarity to take action with the Black community as they rightfully demand justice. Now, this particular post, this was during George Floyd, when George Floyd was killed
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily. Okay, that's how that was, right? But since then, now that the pandemic has ended, what happened, right? As you can see by this chart that I put up here, Black porn under the classification Ebony is the second highest watch pornography that is created. The only thing that's a little bit above it is lesbian, a little bit, right? So now this
Mm-hmm.
question, and I said, what happened with Black Lives Matter? Now this is Black History Month, okay? Every year, the AVN magazine has a review of the AVN show that is actually on their magazine cover. Now, in doing my research, I found out that when they actually put it out was in March. However, the AVN has always been toward the middle of the month, middle of January. So you have an issue coming in February. So I could understand then the timing, particularly when you had it
Mm-hmm.
in a magazine form that you
Right.
sent out to people. It was a little hard to do that. But this year, number one, the show was so early in the month of January. It was basically right after the first of the year. And now that it's also digitized, how hard would it have been to have this woman, Kira Noor, on the cover of the magazine as a breaking news, like winner of the year? But they don't. They have a girl on the cover. Her name was Little Caprice, right?
Mm.
And all these different porn companies from Brazzers, Cherry Pimps, MILF, Team Skeet, Nobile Films, so on and so on, who every month have a certain person that's like their person of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Across the board, there has been no Black representation, not
Mm.
one, right? Now, what happens with that is that it does a disservice because number one, you are cheating the current talent of knowing the history of the men and women that came before them. So when they sit there and say, "Well, I don't know who this is," that's partly that. Yes, it is primarily their responsibility to do their research, but also it could help if one some of the companies who all these women have shot for, where they're showcased during the month of February, which once again we all know it's the shortest month, it's cold, yada yada. That's beside the point because that wouldn't matter if it was in July, September, whatever. It wouldn't matter. The point is that you still didn't do it.
Right.
And secondly, you also rob the people that we're talking about their chance for some record, for some flowers, because they truly have earned it,
Right.
right? And this is a shame that this is happening. So with that being said, Dog Sugar, Hot Sugar Tea, Dollhouse Radio, India, myself, and also the Hot Podcast with Angela and Mimi. Hey, hey, Mimi. I want to take a few minutes to give some love to some of the ladies that some of the current talent have no idea about. So with that being said, let's give a round of applause to these three ladies right here. The woman on your left that has her hand on the card, that's Jenny Pepper. These are ladies of the 80s.
Wow.
That's Jenny Pepper. The one in the middle, that's Purple Passion. The one on the end in the blue jean shorts, that's Mavis the Knave. Right. I'm sorry, Mavis the Nor. Right. Then we go to the
Wow.
slide. These are girls that were around. Now in each decade, it was always someone that was big, but these are ones that put in the solid
Mm-hmm.
work. In this picture, the girl with the legs, that's Adina Jewel, aka Pebbles. The girl in the middle, and that Indian knows exactly what it is. That's Crystal Knight. The girl on the end, that's a fan favorite. That's Kira. You know how many people to this day ask me what happened to Kira, and nobody knows
Wow.
nothing, right? Then we go in 2000s. We got AVN Hall of Famer on the left, Marie Love. In the middle, we have this girl named America who was hot for a hot second, and then on the right, we have Alicia Tyler, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
Oh my
And then we can
God.
keep it to, oh, we're going too far. That's this in the 2000s, right? But my point is this: is that there's no excuse why any of these porn companies cannot showcase black talent during the month of February. You
Facts.
will you will do it. You will show, like, matter of fact, I was looking today. Braz is one of the companies I'm talking about that first that would say we're for Black Lives Matter for the Super Bowl. For the whoever was a fan of football, they gave them a free week subscription to Brazzers. Whether you were a Chiefs fan or Eagles fan, they gave everybody that signed up a free week of subscriptions to Brazzers to ease the pain in the football. Well, the end of
Wow.
football has to come during Black History Month. So why didn't you offer it to anybody that wanted a free week subscription to Brazzers for the month of February? I'm not sitting
That's
saying
the
you got to
point.
give them a month. You could have gave them a week. You just did it for football. You could have did that, and it just shows such a lack of caring and two-facedness that when you have these companies that sat there and said we're gonna be more pro-black, more inclusive, and bam, now the pandemic is over. It seemed like, let's get back to business as usual. I am so sorry. So I know a lot of you out there, you know who Anna and Misty and Tiana and Jada Fire and Heather Hunter, you know who they are. But
Mm-hmm.
our industry in India, our industry is a lot deeper than just those names. And they shouldn't be forgotten. They should be celebrated. Not only should they be celebrated primarily during Black History Month, but they should be celebrated all year round. Because without any of these ladies that I just picked here, we wouldn't have the business that we have today. So let
That's so
let's
true.
let's let's do better. And let's not say we're going to do better. Let's actually do better. Stop playing around with it and get it done. Because it's just, to me, this isn't right. You shouldn't have to have talents on
Mm.
Twitter sitting there, hey, how come there's no black representation in February? You shouldn't have to have people on Instagram or Snapchat or my free cams or OnlyFans, anybody. And why isn't there any black representation? It should be automatic because Black History Month is something that comes every year. You notice. So even if these companies say, hey, we want to plan something for next February, you got an entire year to get it done. So when
That's
February
right.
1st comes, boom, plan in motion. Because nowadays it is a little easier because everything now is primarily through the internet. It's a whole lot easier. Stop playing around. Stop faking the funk. And as well, I'm talking about hip hop, will you say in the 80s, stop dissing me?
That's
Stop
right.
dissing me. Just do it. And certainly shout out. There's too many names for me to say, but certainly shout outs to the Anna Foxes, the Missy Stones, the Tiana Trump, the Jada Fires, and the new current talent roster, such as the Olivia Jays, the Mina Carlisles, the Hazel Grace, the Anna Maris, and Lonnie Legends. All these people that I can't think of. And although I'm sitting here spotlighting the women, let's not forget about the guys. Guys play a
Facts.
part in the porn industry, and that
That's
might
true.
be for another segment of why guys seem so marginalized in the business. I might have to delve into that one, and I think I will delve in. But for today, last Friday in February, the last Friday of Black History Month, let's celebrate some blackness. Give these people a round of applause. Give them praise. They have earned it, and that's where I'll speak. It is mine.
I heard that, Ralph. Great job. Great job. And you're absolutely right. I agree with you 100% on that.